Hi guys, this is Andrew. Today we are going to prepare a dish from Dinner Time Live, spaghetti vongole, aka spaghetti with clams. Out of all the dishes I think we did on that episode, this was probably the least summery, where it does fit into a summer menu as it is a nice light pasta dish. I have here some little neck clams and some cockles, and we are going to cook those together. I have some leftover shallot and onion. I'm going to throw that in there as aromatics. You want to get that going, cut and ready before you start to cook the clams, because that is a very quick process. What I don't have that is great in this, that you should probably use for this dish, classically, is white wine to steam the clams in. But we're gonna do a little improvisation. We're gonna go with beer. I also have some thyme, and I got a little garlic. So let's go. This guy's nice and preheated. You want to get a pot with a good amount of surface area. You don't want to have to pile up the clams too high. You're also going to want to have a lid to kind of get that internal steam going. So I'll start with just a little bit of oil here. Just to kind of, I like to just kind of like wake up the aromatics a little bit in here before I dump the clams in. All right, I'm going to go in with the clams. Little thyme. It's a nice light beer. And then I'm just gonna cover them and let that come up and they start to steam. One of the things I didn't mention was those clams, before I cooked them, I let them soak in salted water for over an hour. And the idea behind that is to get rid of any grit or sand that might be both externally and internally in the clam. Here we go. Whoa. All right, so we got some clams open in here. So yeah, as soon as they start to open, I'm gonna get them out of there. And if you got any in there that don't open up, just get rid of them. That means more than likely they're already dead and you don't wanna eat that. Okay, so the clams are all steamed off. I have the wonderful, delicious clam juice underneath here. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna prepare a sauce now. So I am going to pick through these clams because we are gonna actually use the clams in the sauce. While I'm doing this, I'm gonna reserve some of the kind of like less cooked, juicier looking clams over here in the shell, because I'm gonna use those on the plate when everything is all said and done. This is an Alain Ducasse technique where you actually puree the clams into the sauce. So what we're gonna do is we'll take some of these clams, we'll take a little butter, a little garlic, maybe some olive oil, and puree it with some of the clam juice. Everything is picked now. I'm gonna get rid of these extra shells. I'm going to reserve these for the plate. And then I have these, and I have this clam juice to make my sauce with. Before I start the sauce, I'm gonna start to cook the pasta. And I'm gonna attempt to do Dave's pasta technique, which I've never done before. Instead of boiling the pasta in a large pot of water and straining it off, Dave cooks the pasta with just enough water so by the time the pasta is cooked, it's almost borderline dry. The reason to do that is because that water creates all the starch as it's cooking the pasta, which kind of helps glaze everything and just makes it really delicious. It's probably better to err on the side of not enough water, because you can always add a little bit more if you need to, but we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Okay, I'm gonna go clams in. I'm gonna go butter in. This butter's kind of room temperature, so it should melt nice and easily. A couple cloves of garlic. What's this? We'll say it's 3 large cloves. Some olive oil. And the clam juice. The clam juice I'm going to strain into there because there will be some sand and grit on the bottom of this bowl. So I want to be careful not to get that in there. See, if you look on the bottom, you can see all that gross stuff. So we're going to discard that. Okay. That's clammy. Probably should have done a little bit less garlic. So what did I do? 3 cloves, maybe 2 large cloves. But yeah, it's in a good place. And now we're just gonna wait for our pasta to cook here. There we go. We're in a good place right now. Let's give that pasta one more test. It's hot. Boom. All right. Sauce goes in. I'm gonna throw these back in. Cut the heat off. Just to give the clams a little warm up. And that is it. Let's plate it up. Let's try to give it a couple little twirls. Put our clams around the outside here. And one last thing, a little chopped parsley. And that's it, spaghetti vongole. Spaghetti with clams and lots of parsley. Do I smell clams? Yeah.
Dude, what is this beautiful thing you've made again?
It's almost like...
What did you end up doing with the garlic?
I pureed it into the sauce. I put a little too much, I think, in there, but I don't know, I think it's fine. Depends on how much of a garlic lover you are. And I almost pulled off Dave's pasta technique.
The no strain method?
It's very close. I had to do a little pour off, but...
That's so good.
And one thing about that is, right before we started, I realized I didn't have any white wine.
So what'd you do?
We did a little beer, a little non-alcoholic beer.
A little beer in there?
Yeah.
Wow, get a little crazy here. I think that I had never seen this technique. I don't know, have you done this thing where you puree the clams into the sauce before?
Not for this dish, but yeah, I've done it for like clam chowder before.
So cool. It's just like, that, like the thing about this dish generally is you look at it and you're like, okay, well, this is the delicious part, and this is just some pasta. But like the fact that it's just like
really
dressed
amazing.
in the clam is really, really, really delicious. And God, this curly leaf parsley is just getting extra.
Just puts it over the top.
Extra stuck in my teeth. So wonderful.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but yeah, it's super briny. Really, I thought it was really good. This is one of my favorite like pasta dishes.
It's hard to beat this
Just
thing.
a few simple ingredients and.
All right, Tasty Boy happy. Tasty Boy real happy.
I'm glad you like it.
Wrap us out.
You want to say goodbye?
Bye.
Right. Goodbye, guys. We hope to see you soon. Thank you very much.